Come on, let's go. I'm live. All right. All right. So here we are. Here we are. Here we are. So today is Friday, September 7th, and I am waiting on my um I'm waiting on the AC guy to come fix a repair in my property. So if you guys don't know, if you don't know who I am, my name is Mike Cornell. I do like Airbnb management, short-term rental management, um, with people's properties. And basically what I do is I double the income or even triple sometimes the average monthly income. And in some places I triple. So like on my property right here, I'm going to triple it. This year I'm going to triple it. It's wild. It's so wild and it's amazing. But I am gonna triple this income. Just to give you some a backstory with this property right here. Okay, at this property right here, I took this property and we bought it 96K cash. I did all the work, and I didn't do all the work, but I repainted the cabinets. I put a dishwasher in, a fridge, a new stove, all new furniture, and I put up all the blinds, all the new what are those called? The new fans. I did a lot of the cosmetic work, and I'm super proud. So this property in particular is only supposed to get like $800 a month in rent, which is like, it's not that good. If in terms of cash flow, that wouldn't be that good. If it was mortgaged, it would be kind of like, what, $200 after mortgage and expenses? Maybe not, maybe even less than that. So anyways, I've never had a mortgage, so I don't really know much about mortgages, and that's funny. But what I do know is how to double rental incomes, and that is what I do. Like I said, I want to give you guys backstory here on this property here. I've doubled the rental income in the slow seasons, which is amazing, right? But it's really not. It's like I predicted it. I knew it was going to happen. When you have great presentation and your marketing is on point and your follow-up is on point, everything is on point, So anyways, it's not really what I was here to talk about, but I just wanted to talk about one thing that was kind of been on my mind. And so for me, I got into short-term rentals about 4 or 5 months ago. And now I'm at the point where I'm actively doing 4 properties right now. And I am setting up 7 in Winter Haven, which is pretty amazing. And I'm setting up another 10 in Sarasota. So I switched from just going after like vacation rentals that one by one, and I started going after people with portfolios and people that have multi-units. And that's really, I've played a bigger game. And anyways, so either way you do it, there's money in it, and whatever your model is whatever it is. But anyways, long story short, I changed up my business model of who I was going to go after. And when I did that, I started attracting people that had portfolios and multi-units and all that. And it's doubled my business, tripled, quadrupled at this point. And I'm not surprised. And I am not surprised because it's what I went for. I knew nobody was going after it, and I know that there's a big market for it. Like there's a huge market for vacation rentals, and especially just managing them. Like there's a huge market for people that have no clue. They don't have time to do all that stuff because it takes a village for a property to perform at the max. And anybody that tells you, I learned not to take anything personal when someone says, "Oh, you just put it on Airbnb." It is just way more than just putting it on Airbnb. It's the way you talk. It's like we have everything lined up. I mean, when it comes to the marketing, when it comes to how we talk to our customers, how we answer inquiries, there's standards for everything. And for you to keep a good standing on all these short-term rental platforms, it really takes a lot to do that. And if you're not like doing this full time and you're kind of doing this in your pockets of free time, man, you're going to have a hard time doing this. But again, you really have to love servicing people, and you have to love people, and you have to love making a difference, not just loving people, because I don't really like people, but I don't know how to explain it. I don't like people, but I love people. Like I love the fact that I can take a person from 0 to 100 and see their eyes light up when they see how much they made, or see how much time, time management, see how much time I can give them back from being able to do what I do. And we've had multiple clients tell us we were God sent, because seriously, who likes to deal with rentals? I mean, really, they're annoying. And if you're not in the game, if you're not ready to play, like it sucks. It really does. But if you are super busy and you're trying to manage, then like you'll start to resent it. And I, in no shape or form, resent it at all. And me and my partner, we don't either. We love the game. We love the game of having our customers have a great experience in our properties. We also love the game of doubling rental income, and even tripling it. We love those games. Those games are fun. And that's what I'm saying. You got to love the game. If you don't love the game, then you're not going to want to do it for long. So anyways, my long story short is, all the people that are managing properties out there, when somebody just kind of dismisses you and they say, "Oh, all you do is manage, all you do is put it on Airbnb." Oh my God, you're crazy. No, it's so much bigger than that. So much bigger than that. It's like for you to really stay up in all those algorithms, you really need to have two really good things: great pictures, great descriptions, and great customer service. That's really all there is to it. And that is like almost a 24/7 job that you have to do. And yeah, like I said, if you're not willing to play the game, then you need to let somebody else manage it. Like, Micah Leisurely Stays, we can manage it for you. If you're in St. Petersburg or Tampa, we love to manage it for you. We have an efficient system that we use. We have great partners. And also, we have great vendors that we use too as well, plumbers, handyman. handyman, electrician, electricians, etc. So, you know, we do this, and I don't know who that is, but we do this and we're ready. So, who is that? I don't know who that is. Okay, anyways, let me finish this video. So, anyways, I just wanted to talk about, like, my first time being in this bit. I've only been in this business for like 5 freaking months, and I have been fairly successful at managing properties and doubling rental incomes really, really fast. I think six. When did I start? It is 8. So I started in, I think it was 5. I'm going on 6 months. And the way I started was I actually bought my first house and I wanted to learn how I could double the rent. I didn't want to just rent it. I didn't want to just have tenants and rent it because that was like, I wasn't going to make that much money. So I was like, what can I do? So then I started looking at Airbnb, and then I started seeing other possibilities, different opportunities like corporate rentals and nurses and all those kinds of people that are, we're able to service too. And it turned into a snowball effect. And then I was like, damn, because I started putting my own system together. And then I started going on YouTube and looking up rental arbitrage with it, which, let me tell you, there's no course on, hey, there's no course. They haven't made a course on Airbnb management. Like, no one talks about it. And I think I'm going to be the one to make it, because there is more than enough houses to make a difference with here in the whole world. You can do this anywhere in the world. You don't, like, there's no competition here. And what I notice in any business I've ever been in, as long as you stay in your lane and you continue to be creative and you continue to not cheat your customers, not cheat yourself, as long as you just stay in the game, not cheat, and be consistent, you'll have customers. That's why I'm never like too scared to share something with any of my competitors or anybody that's thinking about what I'm doing, because there's so many houses that you can make a difference with. And it's like, I don't want to be that person that is like, oh my God, I can't believe they got one and I didn't. Like, there's more, it just depends on what your goals are. Like, my goals aren't to take over the world with this. My goals are to provide a great service and live a great lifestyle and build wealth, consistently. And my goals aren't to like take over the St. Petersburg. And, my goals are really to just make my customers happy, make myself happy, and build a great business. And I wonder who that was. Hold on, yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. So anyways, my goal isn't to back to what my goals were. So my goals aren't to have the most houses in St. Pete, because there's more than enough money to be made. My goals are to manage, I want to get to 100 by the end of the year. And right now I'm at 20, 4 plus 7 plus 10, 4, 7, 10, 21. My goals are to get to at least, I'm being audacious, but 100. And I've said this from the beginning, and I didn't believe it. I said 100 about a month ago, and then I just got 10 more. And now I said 100, and then I was like, well, I like to have 35 by the end of the year. And then now I'm like, almost there, and I'm like, man, I can hit a higher goal than that. And so now I'm like, let's go for 100. Why not just go for 100? And so, anyways, like I just want to tell you guys my story. And 4 months ago, I got into this, and I went from wholesaling straight to it. And I risked a lot doing that, by the way, because it was like I really didn't have with wholesaling. I burnt out, and I also spent all my money after like I had like 7 closes, and I made like 15 to um, I think it was like 20,000, something like that. But before I knew it, I spent all my money on marketing. So basically, what I did was I spent too much money on things that I didn't work, and I got lazy on my prospecting, and I burnt out. Let's be honest, I burnt out on that, and having to perform every single day, 150 calls, and that was really it. Really fucked with me. So I said, when I bought my house at the like near that time, I when I bought my house at that time, I I was I burnt out, and I said, look, I started following these systems and seeing how people in my area could really use the service. I started like looking into it, and I was like, man, I could totally perform this service for people easily and help them double their rental income. Like that would not be hard at all. And so I did, and that's where I was at now. But like in the beginning, it was really hard because I didn't have that much money, and I literally what I did was I would find a house, live in it, get it ready. So I would actually find houses that were vacant that had furniture in them, and I would get them ready for the owner, live in them, and I would go house to house. And that's what I did. I did that with this house, and I did that with house in Palm Harbor, and then I did that with another house here, and it was crazy. So like I did that for a while, and I was just staying really committed to just getting the houses ready. But I tell you what, I really went through some times where I was eating noodles, and and that sucked, you know. But one thing that I never, ever, ever stopped doing was prospecting and marketing. I never, and that's why I'm calling this video "You're One Ad Away." You're one marketing piece away from getting the best client ever or changing your life. Like you're that close, and you don't even know it. And I literally stayed consistently posting ads and making inquiries on Zillow. Um, I literally did that for 3 months. Literally every single day. Like that's all I did. It's all I like literally it's all I did. I reached out, and then didn't and then did my ads, reached out, did my ads all day, every day for like 3 months. But I was super consistent. And that's why I'm making this video, because when I wasn't working on the house, I would do these things. And I didn't feel like it every day. And the days that I didn't feel like it, I would just do the bare minimum. And I know people are going to say, oh, you can't just do the bare minimum, whatever. But I literally would put up 8 ads, and then I would reach out to 10 people, and I just did the bare minimum, and then I wouldn't call them till the next day, you know. And I just want to say though, when you feel like fucking shit, you don't want to do a goddamn thing. Like everything's a struggle. Calling somebody, talking to them might be a struggle. It's like there's like an internal war going on and you're taking action. Damn, everyone's hitting me up. And that's what the main point of my story here is like when you don't feel like it those are the days that really set you apart and they build your character and you feel proud about yourself after your routine, your self-esteem builds and you start trusting yourself. You start really trusting yourself and you're able to snap out of things a lot faster. And I want to tell you guys that I've been working on myself for years. And I didn't make a true transformation until recently, just by one habit. And that was just prospecting. And it helps that I like what I'm doing and I believe in what I'm doing. But there's some days where I was doubting everything. And like even now, I mean, some days I have days where I'm like, this shit's never going to work out. I'm never going to get to the income that I want. And I know that isn't true, but it's like, you're going to have days like that where you feel like that, where you're like, nothing's going to work. Your mind is telling you that. It's on loudspeaker, like, blah. And that's what's going to happen. But those are the days when, you do the bare minimum to get through those days and like, that's where you start. You just say, all right, well, I'm just going to do this much and I'll feel productive for the day. And this will let me know that I got enough done. And that's what you want to do. That's what you're going to do. And those days are the days that you build character, those days that you don't feel like it. So long story short, I would have never predicted how I was going to get 10 properties. Like, that's not even predictable. Like, sometimes things happen, but because you're consistent and consistently putting out marketing and consistently making calls and reaching out to people, consistently, networking and, I don't really network that much, but I do a fair amount of, I guess you could say I do network. I mean, I reach out to a lot of people on Facebook and I call them up and, I meet with them in person. I guess I do network, but I don't like to go to like networking groups. I mean, it's just, I don't know why, but I just really don't like them. I usually like to reach out to people in person and take them to lunch or go have coffee. I believe that I believe you can really I believe that you can really see a real person when they're by themselves. Like, they don't have a facade, they don't have to act. So I really like to take them and talk to them one-on-one because it just gets me to know who they are way quicker than what it would happen as if we were in a group. And I just don't really like groups, honestly. I don't like going to like group events. It's not my thing. But anyways, long story short is, that's just what's so. And I still do go to networking things, but I just find that I'm most effective one-on-one. And you need to turn around and look at yourself. How are you most effective? Like, where's your strength? Where are you most effective in? And how can you just keep duplicating that process and keep duplicating and duplicating and duplicating and keep doing it, 10x in that? Gary Vaynerchuk says, don't work on your weaknesses, just double down on your strengths, which I believe to a certain degree. And I believe you use your strengths. You keep working on them and working on them and doubling down and getting the results that you need. And then also, you still want to work on your weaknesses. If you don't like to do one-on-one stuff, you should go do one-on-one stuff. If you don't like to go networking, then go network. But what I don't suggest you do is if you don't like big groups, then I don't suggest you just go balls to the wall, because if you're like me, I like my time alone, and I like to recharge alone too as well. So you don't want to traumatize your brain, your mind, your whole belief system. It's really easy to do that when you step in things way too fast. That's what happens. You go into a little breakdown, and your mind starts doubting itself and all that. With those things, you need to practice. Like those weaknesses, you got to look at practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing. And like I said, I don't believe in slow. Anyways, I got to get going, y'all. But I want to talk more about this transformation and tell you about my journey, because I got to get going here. I have an appointment with the guy, and he's here. So talk soon.